We thought this would be a fantastic conclusion to our whole session today by having Robyn Wood as our final presenter, mainly because, again, this wouldn't have come together without Robyn's idea and also her love of design and also integrating that with biophilic design. But to just introduce her to you all here with us and also virtually, Robyn is a South Australian designer working in diverse ranges of disciplines from furniture design, sculpture, installation, and also products. Maintaining a connection to nature is in a contemporary context is very important to her in her creative practice. She expresses her ideas through the use of warmer, natural, and local materials with preferences to organic forms. And she's also worked with clients on a wide range of international and local commercial and government interior projects, private furniture commissions, exhibition pieces, and small production runs. Being hands-on in her joinery work and experimenting with other media continue to be an important part of developing her new work. And so please join me in making a very warm welcome to Robyn on the stage.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the story of how this exhibition came about and also the symposium that's attached to it, which we're part of tonight. That's me doing a fabulous impression of David Attenborough in the wild. The very first, I guess, idea of putting this together was back when COVID first happened, back after WOMAD last year. We were all locked down, or at least told to stay in our houses. We were actually renovating our house at the moment that time, and we were renting at Parkside, and we walked daily to the Adelaide Parklands. Our dogs got walked probably 3 times a day, and I discovered the story of the grass place in Park 17 and all the amazing work that's being done in there to keep the 3%, as I found out, of wild grasses alive. And it also got me thinking about that we were spending a lot of time inside, particularly because of COVID, and what I could do about it as a designer. So this was the very starting point of that journey, which is a horrible word, but I had a trip to the Flinders and with friends of mine who were sitting in the front row, and that also, and I was looking at grasses and shadows and connecting with that and how I could put that into my own work at that stage. Okay, so this is my Brady Bunch moment. For me, my work is about connection, and it's connection to people and connecting people to land and telling stories and just bringing that all together. And in thinking about this exhibition and this whole event, I reached out to a whole lot of people that were all like-minded in sustainable, wanting to be connected to nature, bringing that into design. And so I reached out to people that I didn't know who all responded in an amazing way. So you've got the designers that I invited at the top and the bottom. So I've got Peter Walker, Karen Ellis, Jake Shaw, Sally Wicks at the bottom, T. Minoki at the bottom, and myself. In the middle are the people who really just brought it all together. Ken Long and the Adelaide Sustainable Building Network, who came on board really early, and I actually discovered ASBN when I first watched a podcast. I was doing a lot of research about biophilic design and discovered ASBN and thought, these people are amazing. Who are they? Where do they come from? And they're in Adelaide. And so I actually sent an email to Ken and said, I love what you do, and are you interested? And straight away I got this amazing response, and so this event started to become this whole thing that just grew. I have the mill team in the middle who have are part of this process, who encouraged me to curate for the first time, and Anna Brown, the Design Institute of Australia, who helped me curate the designers that were part of this. So that's my Brady Bunch. My piece for the exhibition is the timber screens that you can see out the front. When I saw the grasses in the parklands, I thought I would like to incorporate that into my work, and built a steam box, and then had to build a much longer steam box. So you can sort of see at the middle it sort of grew, and spent the last year experimenting with local timbers to see what I could do with them, how far I could stretch them. This is the glamour of my backyard, and the steam box, the tannins in the wood all dripping into a bucket, my beautiful thongs, and then experimenting and seeing how far I could stretch timber and what I could do with the steam box. Each strand had to be clamped, and overnight I could do 2 pieces of my screen, and I would walk back in the morning and hear, that they'd cracked. I'd pull the mould apart and start again. So more of the prototyping, finishing off using Japanese tools, hand tools. We got to for the finished screens, but also Jake's chair, which at that stage was still holding together, and there's a little story around that. But this is putting the catalogue together. Okay, the story with Jake's chair. Are you okay for me to tell this, Jake? Yeah. So this is Chloe, one of the marketing people in at the mill, who, when I was on holiday 4 weeks ago, I think you guys were all in lockdown in Adelaide and I snuck away. I got this call saying Jake's chair is making noises after the photography. It's groaning. I said to her, what are you talking about, groaning? She said, it's making noises. I said, okay. The next day I got a message to say, it smells a bit funny and it's a bit wet, and so this is Chloe sort of, then she contacted me and said, I think there are fungal spores floating in the air and I need to mask up.
Which wasn't true, by the way.
Okay, I know, right. So the next day, so day 3, she sent me a photo of Jake's chair in pieces, and mould growing out of the chair. So it had all popped apart, and it was it was bubbled wrapped up, and I think moisture got into the chair. I don't know, but there was a lot of noise, a lot of popping, a lot of groaning, and a lot of drama coming from, well, this is a place where we're all very dramatic, so it was, anyway. Okay, this is the inspiration behind the actual graphic for the exhibition, which was designed by Robyn Wood, who just happens to also be my son, who's a graphic designer. And his inspiration for the piece came from using native flora, but also, if you look at the forms in it, hands and faces, human forms in the actual flora. So that's him at the exhibition opening showing that off. This is me doing my speech for the third time. Because of COVID, we had to do the opening night 3 times in one night. So anyone who hung around had to hear my speech multiple times. This is the beautiful gnocchi piece, which Jackie showed you earlier. Peter Walker's piece, which I absolutely love this shot because looking at the natural form of the timber and how it relates to human form, it's almost human-like. Sally Wick's beautiful work with marble sculpture and light and foliage. Karen Ellis's mushroom-inspired salt and pepper shakers. Jake's share still together at that point. And finally a detail of my screen. And that's it.
Please stay on the stage, Robyn. So yeah, that's kind of the show. And once again, thank you so much for bringing really a lot of all this together. Really appreciate that about you, and allowing us to celebrate something that, of course, we both are very enduring to, but also being able to share and elevate some of the stories from our community here in South.
I want to thank everyone for coming along and hearing the conversation and taking interest in the SALA event and biophilic design, and just remembering to connect the dots between art exhibitions and the conversation that can be had from that. In this case, it's biophilic design, and other art exhibitions, it's other conversations, but I strongly believe in connections and connecting those dots. And I think that's what art and design can do. It's not just turning up at an exhibition, it's the next conversation and it becoming something real. Thank you for being part of the conversation and coming along. Thanks.
Applause for all of you.